And continuing on with championship night number 1 here at Evergreen Speedways and Home Track Heroes. This upcoming race is brought to you by the IBEW Local 191 and NECA, the National Electrical Contractors Association, powering communities by keeping the lights on and your family safe. All right, with the introduction of the front row front starters for the Frank's Radio Service Outlaw Figure 8s, here's Tom Glithero.
Starting on the pole in that 64 car will be Eric Allison. He does have an in-car camera. Outside of him in the 48 is Jay Van Buskirk. Row 2, 71 of Nick Holton. Nick sponsored by Northwest Adventure Rentals. And outside of him will be the 11 of Keith Cook. In the third row, it's the 45 of Jake Reppin. Outside of Jake, in that 33 car is the MGM Designs, cars driven by Nick Gunderson.
In car number 50, the car that just needs to start, and he's got another championship and an impressive resume, the number 50, the Cowboy, John Carlson. Outside of John in the 55, our longtime friend Doug Wilkinson. The number 74, the Boney Brothers Boney Motorsports car of Chris Curtis. In another in-car camera outside of Chris is the number 676 car of Ricky the Kid Dietz. Rounding out the field, the 0 of Jolene Lopato, and the 3M brought to you by Black Thunder Transport, Keith Taylor. So 30 laps. And this camera that Eric Allison put underneath the bumper of his car is going to be, I think it should win an award as our best in-car camera for the year. It's just incredible what you guys are about to see.
Of course, the question is, will it last for 40 laps in a figure 8 race? Man, you were putting that, what is it? Timex takes a licking and keeps on ticking. We'll just see. But Eric Allison out front, if he stays out front or he falls towards the back, we're going to have some pretty darn good activity. We got 1 lap down and 29 more to go. It's 30 laps.
It is.
In the Frank's Radio Outlaw Figure 8 main event.
All right, he is out in front right now, and the number 64 normally runs in our Outlaw our Super Stock Figure 8 division. Eric Allison, apparently all he needs to do is put on a different set of tires, the tires that this class runs, and you can see guys like Eric and Jolene Lopato has been doing this all season long too. Just out there getting seat time in and improving every time that they do it. But Nick Holton in the number 71 car in that second spot in a traditional Outlaw Figure 8 car, followed by Jake Reppin. It's so cool to see that number 45 car out. Jake has just been such a supporter of this division, runs when he can. If he's not running, he's helping someone out. Phenomenal welder, just a real craftsman with metal. As you see the Cowboy, John Carlson, getting underside the 45. But good to see Reppin out.
You're right, and that car has, you know, some of the dynamics of an Outlaw car, but not the big, huge sideboard. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But it's tough to come out late in the year and run up front when you haven't been doing it each and every week like, you know, the Cowboy has, and Chris Curtis, Ricky Dietz, Doug Wilkinson. Those guys are here just every chance they get. So
yeah. It's been so much fun to be able to follow this car. And like you mentioned, when we were talking about our Buzz-In Steakhouse Stingrays, any of these figure 8 classes is just so worth the time to invest in them, watching them, and especially next season when we have a bunch of people back out to the excitement that these guys bring is just unparalleled. It's so cool when there's a big field of these cars out, and it looks like Eric Allison's just about to get overhauled here by a couple of these.
The cavalry's coming.
The cavalry
and they're coming
is
quick.
coming, yes indeed. You can see that nice wad of cars in between turns 1 and 2. Eric Allison hanging on to it, but I got to give props to Eric. He's been doing really well so far, leading the first 9 laps of this as they have got working on lap number 10.
You know, people who haven't been to the racetrack each and every week, then they see the first figure 8 race. It's like, oh my God, it's something that you've never ever seen. There's some good close in action, and sticking the car in there tough, tight, into the left-hander. They're going to come down through. They're going to take a quick look to the right, make sure nobody's coming as you head down into the right-hander, or as we know, the south end of the speedway.
I had a chance to go down and visit with Ricky Dietz. He and I have done so much radio back in the days when KRKO was broadcasting Saturday night races out here, and he would come up and hang out, and he just is having so much fun getting back into this. And he says, now I need you to make sure when you guys are doing this on this race, make sure and let people know that my car is a Gunderson car. And he goes, it's really important to, you may see a Gunderson logo on the left side sailboard on the back end of the 676 of Ricky D. So there you go, Rick. I got it in for you. But Gunderson, makes cars for people all around, and those cars are just so well built.
One of my favorite Ricky D's lines, he said, I have to be out here racing. If I'm not out here racing, I somehow find trouble, or trouble finds me. So it's good to see he's out here. He's doing a great job. That Dietz family has been so strong in the figure 8 division, and they're just keeping that name going.
All right, coming up just about halfway through our 30-lap distance for our Frank's Radio Service Outlaw figure 8s. We saw Eric Allison spin around as he was coming out of turn number 1, so he will get at the back of the field, as you can see on the scoreboard there. He's still on the lead lap, working lap number 15, but all I'm going to tell you guys, hang on, because there is some pretty impressive camera work coming up here as the lap's flying down. The Cowboy John Carlson, our fence climbing champion for 2020, another incredible season for the Cowboy. Just kind of pretty much a one-man band. Got to talk to one of his crew guys after the race was over, and this car that is not the one he's been racing all year. This is the one that he ran for a ton of years. We see a car with, looks like the car got spun down there between turns 1 and 2. But to get back to my thought about the Cowboy, his primary car just wasn't running right. So he blew the dust off of the silver one. And boy, it was say he forgot the setup from the last time he raced it, so he didn't really change anything, and it obviously has just done really well. So good deal. There's Eric Allison coming across the line as he's working on lap number 18, but it is still the Cowboy, John Carlson, Ricky the Kid Dietz, and Chris Curtis having a good run, former champion in this division.
Steve, some heavy traffic down there, as
yes,
you can see.
Is.
The Cowboy trying to work his way through there with Dietz, giving him a little, hey, I'm here, little bump, without, shoving him out of the way, not spinning him out of the way. Do it the right way, but letting him know that he's there, and either get moving, Cowboy, or I'm going to have to drive on by.
Just going to warn you. There they are, looking good, coming out of turn number 4. We've got 10 to go for our Frank's Radio Service Outlaw figure 8s. So kind of a up and down season for this class. Some, and it's not an easy class to run. Let's not kid ourselves. These cars are not cheap to run. They are as technically put together as a pro late model is. Maybe sometimes might argue a few more horsepower underneath the hood than a pro late model. But they're as good as you can afford to have be as they're working to get around the 48 of Jay Van Buskirk there. Cowboy's going to work him up on the outside.
Ricky trapped on the outside, may lose that second spot.
Look at that. Oh, man, over the top. Holy cow. Let's see if we can see this again. Ricky Dietz just on the climbing over the hood of Van Buskirk. Oh, this will be good. Watch this. Whoa. Good thing we didn't have an in-car microphone on Ricky the Kid Dietz.
Good advertisement for Hoosier tires that they use on those super figure.
All right, we'll let our
outlaw figure 8s.
People get things settled back around. We'll get the field back underway. I don't think anybody's going to have to use Foss towing or Sam's towing to get things back together. But we'll get back underway and get our 2020 season. And now, you guys check this out. I love that. What a rush. And I know what that's all about right there. That's pretty cool. So here we go. We're right in behind with Chris Curtis in the number 74 and Eric Allison as Holton gets by in the 71. But this is some incredible footage here. Watch this, you guys.
Steven, these cars are kind of a balancing act because you want them light. Light cars are fast cars, so you build them out of fragile parts. Except only this is not fragile racing.
No.
So you got to kind of figure out what you need to make that thing last for 20, 30, 40 laps. If you get into some of the longer races, what used to be the 60 minutes, 90 minutes of fear, whatever, they've got to be strong enough to take that abuse because figure 8 racing is a contact sport.
Yeah, and part of it too is you said a light car is a fast car, but you've got to have some pretty heavy-duty pipe in these things because you obviously where your contact points are going to be if a guy wants to get around you. Just like what's going on right here? Cowboy protecting his lead. Curtis trying to take a look down on the inside. And these guys are not afraid to, they'll give you a couple of taps to let you know they're there. And just like what happened right there, and they'll either move aside or they will just give you a battle that you both are going to be smiling all the way through. We got 5 laps to go. Now we've got 4 laps to go for our Frank's Radio Service Outlaw Figure 8. Starting to get a little dicey in the intersection there.
Way back in time, before the cars got as sophisticated as they were, the old saying was 2 bumps and then a dump.
That's right.
You didn't get out of it. Whoa! Ricky kind of lit up those rear tires, kind of slid through that intersection. If he'd have been just a tick behind, he'd have had company at the door.
There would go. Okay, here we go. We've got 3 laps to go. It is still the Cowboy John Carlson, followed by Chris Curtis. Nick Holton having a great run in that number 71 car. Ricky the Kid Dietz in the 676. You can see him working underneath the car right there as they were coming out of turn number 3. Jake Reppin having a good solid run in the number 45. Nick Gunderson in the 33, followed by Eric Allison, Keith Cook, Keith Taylor, and Jillian Lopato. All the cars still on the track, which I think is pretty cool too.
White flag to go. Just one more lap. See if they can make it through that intersection just one more time back to the starter. But right now it's all the Cowboy John Carlson out in the lead and on his way to being the 2020 champion.
And here he does it right there. The number 74 of Chris Curtis, all up in our champion's business as they came across the start-finish line. But congratulations to the Cowboy. Just one of the hardest working people, one of the nicest guys, and a nice job in a very well-deserved championship. Good job, too, by Chris Curtis. Ricky Dietz following that little space trip he took there coming down turn number 2 to hang in there for that 3rd spot. So we're going to bring him up. We're going.
You think we're going to see a little fence climb?
No, we're going to see how he does it here. He's telling him, he's saying, hey, why don't you come on up with me, Chris? Because, I'm not having any of that nonsense. But here he goes. He's scoping it out. And, all right, here's how the Cowboy does it right here. Boy, he's in end of the season form. He's not even huffing and
now we're going to see
yet.
He's got to get over that top row. This is the top part, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at.
Is that the sound of his driver's suit tearing or his groin? One of the two. We'll find out when he comes back. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get the thoughts of our top 3. There's your champion right there. We'll be back.